Seeing strong people of color coming into their own, fighting for what they believe in, being unapologetic, being who they are, that type of stuff that translates into a really authentic photo. And I just try to capture them as honestly as I can. My name's Armando Gennaro. I am a photographer here in Denver, and I put on for this city as best as I can. All right, chin up a little bit and just look over me. Yeah. I grew up in California. I was the son of a jeweler. That's really where I got my creativity from, that desire to always be creating. Cameras were always just around when I was growing up, so I was always kind of comfortable with like taking photos of like large groups of people or just taking like intimate portraits, but it was never something that I thought could be a creative outlet for me, much less, as a career and, to tell stories through photojournalism. I took a photojournalism class at the end of my time at Metro State. Before I was just taking photos to be creative, but then when I finished that photojournalism class, I kind of found the direction that I wanted to take my photography in. Clean. Let me switch lenses up just to tell those stories that I wasn't seeing being told here in Denver, not on a big scale. And so I kind of took that into my own hands, and it's been an honor of mine to be able to like document and really tell the stories of the people here. Look straight at me. Chin up a little bit. Nice. Before I moved here, before I decided to stay here, I was very ignorant to what Colorado was all about. I didn't know that there was a huge, deeply rooted lowrider scene here. Being from California, being around that all my life and being influenced by lowrider culture as a kid, it made me want to go out and learn more about the lowrider culture here in Denver. And so, meeting the people and being in the streets here, I was able to learn the history, the deep roots that are here in Denver. There's gente everywhere, and it should be celebrated more, and we're getting that opportunity now. Jeremy from History Colorado Museum was telling me that they have a exhibit going on. He asked me if I was willing to have some photos up that kind of celebrated the built environment in Denver and also connected the built environment to the human element. And so they were looking for photos of people just like out in the city, kind of giving life to these lifeless buildings. I was toying around with the term brick and mortar, and then I wanted to tie the physical aspect of my photos to the kind of like spiritual and emotional aspect of my photos. The soul has a lot to do with how we interact with the environment around us. And so at first it was like in between brick and soul and concrete and soul, but I just like the way brick and soul flowed better, because in the exhibit there's photos of people celebrating, like I said, and there's also photos of people mourning. They're mourning the loss of a loved one. It's really dedicated to everybody in Denver who grows up here and lives here and celebrates here and dies here, and ultimately, people are mourned here. It's my way of paying homage to the people who have built the city. This exhibit is from the perspective of an outsider. I'm not from here, but it's dedicated to the people and the places that have made my experience meaningful here in Denver. A lot of them have people that took me under their wing, taught me a lesson in one way or another. A lot of them are taken in neighborhoods that are meaningful to me, that I've spent a lot of time in. This one would be Lost Jazz, and it has my friend Wes Watkins in it, who's a local musician, playing the trumpet inside the legendary Rossonian Hotel. It's called Lost Jazz because if you know the history, you know that the greatest jazz players of all time would perform and stay there. And for so long, that building has just sat there. And so there's this real ethereal sense to the photo when you look at it. It's like he's summoning the greats of the past. I also have photos that are from protests because it's my way to voice how I feel about certain issues and certain topics, and how I want to lend my support when it comes to advocating for those issues. When you see those photos of some young girls in front of the Capitol protesting for stricter gun laws, I see what the effects that gun violence has on our youth. For me to be able to cover those type of events, help amplify the voices of our young children of color that are affected the most, usually by gun violence, is important to me. Being a brown man myself, a Latino son of immigrants, Growing up, I didn't have anybody to say, hey, photography is something that you could do. Photography is something that you can make a career out of. You know, it's something that you could use as a tool to inspire other people. I didn't have that. With this camera and with what we're doing, I'm seeing the impact that we're able to make. And I just think it's important for the next generation of Latinos that are coming up to be able to document their own stories in the future. Doesn't have to be in a museum, doesn't have to be in a fine art gallery. To keep preserving our culture and keep telling these stories, you know, to me, it doesn't get any more important than that.
For more stories, check out Denver's YouTube page or tune in to Denver8.tv.